All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Business Agility Institute, and all the wonderful sponsors. Thank you for all the great and impactful speakers who have started this whole conference since Monday. I am very, very happy to be here. I would like you all to know that we are actually at a live viewing center all the way from Lagos, Nigeria. And of course, I have here with me Mr. Chijoke. I will introduce him in a sec. And the video you're about to watch is a very short video. We believe in pictures speaking louder than words. And so this video talks about the journey. And bear in mind that we did adhere to COVID restrictions when this video was made, even though we weren't wearing our masks. All right, so we'll start from there, and then I will talk more about myself and Mr. Ike very soon. Okay, so I'll play the video right now.
Over 25 years, SIDMACH has done well in the technology industry, the IT industry. I'm sure some of our clients, or if not all of them, would actually testify to what we've done for them in terms of creating solutions to solve most of the problems. But in this VUCA dispensation, we really need more. And I'm wondering, what are we going to do? Who is going to make that change, and where are we going to get the change from?
SIDMACH Technologies reached out to the Agile Advisor Africa to assist them in their Agile journey. And so our organization, the Agile Advisor Africa, our expertise falls within helping and facilitating Agile adoption and transformation.
At first, we were skeptical. There were doubts, resistance, uncertainty. But with the training and coaching, we've been able to unlearn, learn, and relearn to achieve a culture that guaranteed much improvement in the organizational performance.
As a PO, my job is to deliver customer-ready products, ensuring the product meets best ROI targets, both for the customer and also for the organization. My job also includes prioritizing items that the customer needs, managing the backlogs for the products to be developed for the customer.
Since the introduction of Agile into our environment, we've been working smarter, we've been working in a transparent way. And Agile has really transformed how we do things, and we are super excited to have Agile within our environment.
I'm Scrum Master of the team. I facilitate the activities of the team, ensuring we achieve our set targets, set goals for each sprint. I also ensure that we work according to the Scrum values and pillars.
With Enterprise Agile fully implemented at SIDMACH, we can approach the next 25 years with great assuredness that we can take on the new markets while we consolidate on the existing markets with solutions that makes people work smarter and live better. Watch out for SIDMACH.
So I hope you all enjoyed that short video and really captured the essence of the content. Putting up our presentation right now. And I'd just like to start by saying that I left Canada after being there for almost 20 years and relocated to Nigeria because I'm very passionate about organizations globally embracing agile adoption and
Sorry,
transformation.
Abiodun, sorry to interrupt. The sound isn't great. I'm getting feedback from the chat that it's very tinny and not awesome. I'm not sure if the mic is not working.
All right. Can you hear me better now?
Yes, it's much better.
Okay. All right. I'll increase my tempo. So I'll start again. So my name is Abiodun Osoba, and I relocated back from Canada to Nigeria. It's been 4 years now after being away for almost 20 years. And I'm very passionate, having worked with a lot of organizations in Canada. I'm very passionate about organizations being on an agile journey. And so being in Nigeria, I've been tasked with the responsibility of working with many individuals, businesses, and organizations. And in Nigeria here, myself and a group of people, we have a very active business agility community. And so when SIDMAC came along with a request, or rather, I'll repeat that. When we we chose them as a candidate, I will be fit for purpose for the whole journey, you know, being able to, because they're a technology company and they provide a lot of products within the market space for retail and also for government services. We believe that they will be a very great organization that could change their spectrum over the next few years. And so we approached them. I think somebody mentioned in the video that they were very skeptical, really, really skeptical. This whole conversation, I will be honest, took almost 2 years. And eventually we started. And one good thing for me that I take away from the whole experience is the leadership, right? And the man sitting right here beside me, he represents a great leader. I'm not just saying this in front of him. I said it at a town hall we held at the organization. I've said it at many other places. This is not the only or first agile engagement helping an organization embrace agile or business agility. This is one of many, but they stand out clearly. And the difference there is the leadership. The leaders were hands-on, you know, they were very passionate. They understood, they took their time to understand the whole journey, the impacts, the challenges, the constraints, whatever it was going to take, they took their time to understand it. And they were in the classrooms as well. And once they did, they held the bull by the horn and voila, here we are. And for me, that is major, you know, that is great. I don't see that every day working locally with organizations. And so they stand out as exceptional. And, you know, just a small joke between me and him, I am his adopted goddaughter, you know, because I just believe he's a hero, you know, in my opinion. And I'm so happy to be doing this today. And I will do a short intro for you to meet one of these great leaders here who are locally resided in Nigeria, Mr. Chijioke Eke. He is one of Africa's most respected ICT experts with a wealth of experience with leading major technology companies and innovations in Nigeria and beyond. SIDMACH Technology is responsible for almost 80% of all the production that has to do with education in Nigeria. So every federal education, every service, every product. So in Nigeria, we have what you call the WIEC, we have the NYSC, we have the JAM. So these are federal institutional organizations who are responsible for the governing council for education across board in Nigeria. And they are responsible for providing the tools, the products, the services and everything to make this experience great. And so SIDMACH Technology embracing business agility as they innovate their products, their businesses, and all of their services. It's an amazing story. And I gladly introduce you to Chijioke Eke. I hand over to him right now as he tells us his own perspective. Thank you.
Well, thanks, Abi. I prefer to call you Abi. Good afternoon, everyone from Lagos, Nigeria. Like you heard earlier, my name is Chijioke Eke. I'm my founding co-founder and director of SIDMACH Technologies Nigeria. Like Abi has said all the good things, you know, in a love story, but you guys the good ones. So please let me stand on what she said. But permit me to very well express my appreciation and excitement to be in your midst. It hasn't been easy for us, as if the challenge of the transition from a typical waterfall-based company into a totally agile environment. Then the key enabler or disenabler, if you like, came crashing uninvited, and that was COVID-19. And in the midst of this transition, we knew that we had to be hands-on, we had to push beyond boundaries, and we knew that in the post-COVID era, even to manage the pandemic, if you like to call it that, I prefer to call it pestilence. But if you were to survive that, you needed to innovate. And what other way would you want to try to innovate than to try to be agile? Business unusual, in unusual times. And we want to thank Abi and her team. I call them Abi and her gang. But they came in, they were passionate, they drove us like head teachers. And for those of us who were skeptical at the beginning, eventually we had to fall in line because we don't like to cross the path of the teachers. And the rest is used. We're still in it because for us, business agility is actually a journey. It does not have a start and end for us from experience. So we're still innovating, we're still adjusting, we're still embracing the beautiful giveaways that come with agility. So let me leave it there because if we go into all those backgrounds, then we will be here till tomorrow morning. So our focus, really, I don't know if you want to come into that or you want me to continue. No, continue. Yes, our focus was that, hey, in these fast-changing times, because it's no longer a question of being in a boundary, in areas where you do your thing and you're the Lord of the manor. Now we are competing with global brands all over the place, the Microsoft of this world. So, well, I don't know where you stopped hearing me, but I will gladly go back and tell you the stories. So, on that, in the introduction, I want to leave it where Abi did it, but I want to get into the perspective from my unfortunate, in quote, position of being the managing director at this time. You know, people don't understand that. They look at the fancy and frills of it, but it's one of the lowliest positions you can have. When it works, everybody takes the accolade. When it doesn't work, you're in the doghouse alone. So when this issue came up about Agile, initially it was like Alice in Wonderland. And like she told you earlier, Abby told you, it took us quite some time to align with the mission and vision that we have for the company and what Agile was going to bring into it. Like I said at the beginning, right in the middle of the transition, there was a very rude introduction, interjection into the whole thing by COVID-19, which threw another round of challenge into where we were already. But we remain focused and with hands on the dial. And the rest is history. We've made a lot of progress. It's still a work in progress because for us, Agile is actually a journey, not a destination. So we will continue to look at what we do because in the very fierce terrain of IT services, solutions, and platforms in this country, we are contending with the global giants who are coming. But what did we do? We said, what does it take to be agile for us? First of all, we believe that we needed to understand even our business, what our business needs, and then our organizational capacity, what do we have to be able to achieve what the business expects of us? And we want to call that structure. Then we went ahead to say, all right, now that if you have the structure, how do you organize this, what you have, such that you can deliver the customer is king any day, whether it's right or wrong, is king. So what do? You want to create self-organizing, multidisciplinary teams who can then work and collaborate together, but work in their self-organizing positions to deliver the best that can really, really make differentiate and distinguish your organization with the customer. And what is customer's business? The customer's business is that you satisfy the expectations, you drive change, and sometimes you drive innovation. Because just like it was tough for us to get into the rhythm of Agile, so it's also tough to get into the rhythm of the customer, having to agree with you. So what did we do? From our experience and sitting here as the origin director, these are some of the things that we think Agile has brought to our environment. Visibility and transparency of processes. Yes, a lot of things used to happen, and you wait for the weekly or monthly reports before you see them. Now you just go into the platform, you look at the Agile Plus automation of the Agile process, we call it Agile Plus, and there it is for those whose hands are on deck, and for those whose hands are on their knees. You know, and you know what to do. Quick response to market changes, because these are self-organizing, collaborating teams. They are able to take decisions right on the spot and respond to changes ahead of having to call a departmental meeting, call a divisional meeting, have it reviewed by executive management before anything is done. By the time they finish setting up the team to kill the snake would have slithered away or beaten somebody. So that is no longer an issue. Now, improved quality, product quality, because of these reviews and the daily, what we call the daily stand-ups we have every morning. Where are we? What are we doing? What's in the backlog? Why was this in the backlog last week and we're still showing visibility now? Who's responsible for that? Now, what are we going to do? So that's quick. And guess what? We had a meeting last week with a foremost educational assessing and testing and measuring organization in this country. Actually, it's a supranational organization across the Anglophone West Africa. And the first thing that pleased my heart was that the chief executive stood up and for the 5 minutes, he was praising the foresight, the quick reaction, the initiatives, the adaptability, and SIDMAC always coming out with innovations for them. I can tell you, I couldn't be taller. For us who are very tall, I couldn't be taller. So these are some of the takeaways you take from there. And then what does it lead you to? For as long as you get the customer to be satisfied, then it gives you the competitive edge against competitors. Sometimes we call them competitors because we took that away from Steve Ballmer of the former CEO of Microsoft. He said sometimes you cooperate to compete. So we do that. We have our competitors, we have our competitors. So having looked at that, the bottom line of every company is how sustainability and profitability. And you cannot, profitability doesn't kick in if returns on investments are sluggish or they are struggling. So these are some of the benefits we have seen with our Agile journey that has taken us to the next level compared with where we were before. And what was our approach? For what we do today, across the educational spectrum, across the fintech spectrum, across the youth engagement spectrum for what we are doing today, what we do has affected positively more than 100 million. Say it again, 100 million youths over the years in this country. We manage their education from cradle to grave in terms of record keeping. So today, what we've done with our partners in the educational space in this country enables you today to sit down and you can plan, you can extrapolate. And in these days of AI, you can imagine the opportunities are limitless and boundless. And that is why they cannot walk up to government and they're not stuttering because they've got up-to-date data in that area to present. And we are migrating it to some other areas, like I will talk down as we go on this presentation. If you look at what we did here, we chose, after looking at some of the options and looking at where we were, we chose to go the way of Scrum as an agile methodology to adopt. And in that process, our pioneer DevOps, Agile DevOps tool, which we call, and we're proud to have done that in collaboration with our mentors and also partners, because we call them partners now rather than mentors. I mean the ABI team. We call it Agile Plus. So this gives us a technical platform that helps us to create visibility and work collaboratively to ensure that the self-organizing teams and the cross-disciplinary teams affect each other positively, and they give expression to what the mission and vision of the company requires them to do to keep the customer coming back again and again and again. So we created the Center of Excellence as a key hub. That Center of Excellence became the key hub. But today, in parts of our transition and transformation, that Center of Excellence we prefer to now call Transformation Office, so that they can focus rather than the name, but on the duty. So they oversee and guide and mentor and give direction to the way the teams go. So if you look at that, what has it done for us? It has enabled us to make quicker decisions. Everything does not have to wait for executive management. It does not have to wait for the divisional directors of your. Now the self-organizing teams make their decisions. Sometimes they come into clear for policy, but I'm here with you. I can assure you they are doing their thing in the office. That building you saw is our office and we own it. So that's part of what agility is helping us to maintain and sustain. So we make quicker decisions, anticipate and respond quickly to changes. Nobody's going to wait, oh, he's in a conference, put a file on his table. Until he comes back from the conference, no decision is taken. No. They do their thing and they come in when it's necessary to share ideas or check in with policy, mission and vision. The rest is their business. And this helps us to deliver faster on sprint goals. So if you incorporate organizational agility into our business, as we've done at SIDMACH Technology, this has helped us. I just told you the little story of an organization we work for our partner who spent 5 minutes of his opening speech praising SIDMACH. Well, how does it come? It comes from proactivity. We are proactive. We're able to predict. We're able to advise. We're able to throw innovations around all the predictions and the advice. And we're able to forecast the direction they can go so as to stay ahead of the pack, because they have got competitors also in their space. So they also need to remain in the first quadrant and lead the first quadrant so that the competitors will continue to be also ranks. So, and that is what we're helping them to achieve. And that leads to profitability. That is self-explanatory. So from the innovations, like I told you earlier in my opening speech, we have certain domain-targeted solutions for the small and medium-scale enterprises, which we hope can help drive the economy of Nigeria, which, by the way, is the biggest economy in the continent of Africa. But it's not enough to be big, but it's got to be efficient and function. So we are also reaching out for what we do for the SME. So we have an SME platform, which is beyond the solution, which we've put there to enable the startups and the ones that can't really get the infrastructure and things they need to run and be successful. That we have put up, and we call it Biscuit, from business tools, which we decided to call Business Kit, and then shorten to Biscuit. So go out there and enjoy yourself on our portal. Then the fintech, like you call. Now that way I know that my good friend seated here, Giles, is going to struggle with it. Just call it PACAM, so you don't need to worry with the K and the P. PACAM is a fintech solution that's going to drive innovation in the payment solution platform. And everything we do, we want to land and want to go to the first quadrant. Watch out for PACAM down the line. Now, permit me to say, as a leading integrated IT solutions and platform and services company, we have responded swiftly to the emerging market demands with turnkey solutions. As I speak with you today, one of our solutions in education also, that is the rave of the moment. It is called Luminate. Luminate. It is an award-winning e-learning platform that incorporates from primary to secondary or high school to the university. And behind the Luminate is a massive database of data that planners, researchers, miners who go through the process can use to get information that even development partners find difficult to get before. So we are doing this to ensure that there's a streamline in education to give meaning and quality to what we do here. Each study is targeted at the individual people, the individual students, whatever they are, so they can go in there at their own time without having to suffer the limitations of classroom experience. Also in this COVID-19 pandemic era, so that they can study beyond what they had in the classroom, go back to it again and again and again. And with the AI thrown around it, they are also being advised on areas of weakness and areas they can improve so that they can be better. Because remember, what we said is, we are here to make work smarter and to make life better. That has been our mantra, and that is what. So for us, at SIDMAC, agile and agility is not just a nomenclature. It's not a way to think. It's not a fad. It is our way of life, professional life. And what am I going to tell you? I wish I had time. Make no mistake about it. This presentation may be short, but if you have a day, we can say, sit down, SIDMAC, tell us the SIDMAC story. Because what I've scratched is less than 5% of SIDMAC, our partnership, our journey with our agile mentors. Give us a day and we'll keep you busy from 9 o'clock to 4 o'clock. But let me leave you with these parting shots. There are 3 major goals, like I said at the beginning, that drive businesses. Key one is to deliver what you may call premium value. If you don't deliver value in these very competitive ages, you are out. If you doubt me, ask the Novell networks of this world, ask the Olivetti's of this world, ask the former Vodacom CEO who did not see in Nigeria what MTN saw when they came. And by the time MTN stole the thunder, his board asked him, where were you when MTN went into Nigeria? And they played back his comments, and that was goodbye. So you must continue to deliver premium value, innovate, drive profitability, and most of all, every shareholder, every investor wants the business to be sustainable, to be renewable, and to be profitable. So those are the mantra that we sleep and wake with every day as we drive our modest contribution in the IT space. So looking at that, like I said, I've just rounded up that. So going into Agile, you must bring in the automation tool, the Agile Plus, because you cannot do all those things manually and say you're Agile. You must drive the processes and the self-accounting and self-motivating and cross-domain functionality and collaboration. You must see where the chinks are so that you can eat up, like Abi will say, you can eat up the impediments and ensure that the groups are successful, even as challenging as the landscape is now for business, particularly in this part of the world. And it gives you, so you don't really need every weekend or every Monday. You spend the best part of 6 hours going from one group to the other to tell you the story of Aladdin, what they did last week. So going into Agile Plus gives you a cross-platform, a cross-group visibility for you to make up your mind and then be target-specific if you require additional information. It gives you, and for it, business is global today. Some of the solutions and platforms I've mentioned for you, which we are doing in collaboration with our global partners like Microsoft and HP, allows it visibility and use anywhere in the world. As a cloud solutions partner and a cloud productivity partner and a cloud platform partner of Microsoft, we give vent to what we do from what our platform is. And guess what? We're all sitting on the agile infrastructure we are building. Otherwise, these things will not have come the way they have come. It's a journey. We're getting to a destination. It's a journey. And that the challenge before us, like you, as you sit and listen to me, the challenge before you, if you need to go agile, is also to do iteratively to continue to innovate, to continue to go on the journey, to continue to fix areas where, don't be afraid to fail in some areas, but make sure that the failures don't become debilitating to the business. Some will fail, some will succeed, but your ability to be agile is the ability to behave like the cat. No matter the position you throw the cat, it will always land on the fourth paws. So you must be ready not to sink. Go ahead now. Oh, thank you. That's the little story based on time. So I have to speak so many things to be able to say that, but I'll be looking forward to another invitation where I can really open up and ventilate as a guide, and some things we've done well, and I can also tell you some things we've not done so well, so that we can all learn together and give agile and agility the importance and the first quadrant facing it should be for every business that wants to survive and thrive in these tough times. Thank you, and Abby?
Yes, thank you so very much for that, Mr. Eke. That's, I mean, like he said, he wasn't denying that, like he can go on, like on and on the whole day. And so I've been facilitating this conversation quietly here. And I'm hoping that our talk today would maybe challenge some of you listening to us to visit Nigeria and, you know, see for yourselves these things firsthand and experience it and talk to leaders here and see how we are driving change within our own economy and trying to improve change, bring about change in our economy in our own very little way. Thank you very much.